So last time I was talking about an anime that stars a girl with 4 eyes. This time I'm talking about an anime that features a girl who only seems to have 1 eye. Weird. Cue title scene! Chuunibyou Demo Kai Shita is a 2011 romantic comedy anime that at first glance looks like another generic, dumb, boring romantic series. A lot of cute imagery, very generic looking, that of course naturally is set in a high school because God knows it can't be set anywhere else. And at first it looks like it's going to go down that road with the plot too. Essentially the story revolves around this kid named Yuta. And basically Yuta was a geek and a nerd, but he took it to the next level. He is what is called a Chuunibyou, meaning that he actually tried to believe he was in a fantasy world. He'd constantly dress up like he was in it. He'd act like other people like he was in it. He wanted to believe it was so real, he actually made the reality around him come as close to it as possible. And I'm not going to lie, when he's this Dark Flame Master character he invented, he seems like a douchebag. I'm not going to lie, he's really annoying when we do these flashbacks, and then when we flash forward to him right now as a regular kid, he seems a little annoying and petty as well. But, of course, naturally, nothing can ever go so simple as on his first day of high school when he wants to reinvent himself, become a cool new guy, and all that good stuff. He meets a girl named Rika, who actually takes this to the next level. She, too, is a Chuunibyou, only she, wants to incorporate him into the fantasy for a reason he doesn't know. And she goes this really far. She claims she's looking for something called the Ethereal Horizon. She wears an eye patch, bandages, all this getup, claims she's got something called the Wicked Eye. She's got an umbrella that she uses as a weapon, which is really hilarious. And in several episodes, we actually go into her head where she imagines these super insane fights between her and whoever her quote-unquote antagonist for that situation is. And throughout the course of the series, you're really just watching him, her, some other characters, as basically they all try and, figure out how to go through life. And I'm not going to lie, you know from the minute the show starts that they're going to fall in love. And I'm going to be flat out honest, I loved this show. This is truly excellent. The way everything is done. Like I said, when Yuta is Dark Flame Master, he seems like a complete douchebag. And now in the modern world, he seems petty and like he's overly dramatic. And the show plays off that. It uses it to its advantage. Finally, something that shows what it's like to be a teenager, what it's like to be a nerd in the modern sense of the word, what it's like to try and find yourself. All these things actually shown in an honest way. Never for 5 minutes did I feel like this show was preaching something to me. Never did I feel like it was saying that this is the way to live your life. Because again, Yuta gets annoying, Rika gets annoying, and the show knows how to use that to play to its advantage. I won't spoil it, but about halfway through we learn, what the real drama of the story is. Suddenly, all these things in the show, from the eye patch to weird actions and stuff, become narrative tools to craft a story that is trying to tell you that life is all about finding who you are. That when you are that age, that is truly the hardest thing you can do. And how we go through life is based on the decisions we make. You are not going to agree with everything you see these characters do on screen. You'll probably think they're doing something stupid or wrong, but the show is not saying they are right. The way everything is presented, it is simply showing you this is what these people had to deal with. This is what they chose to do. And these are the consequences, good and bad. A lot of that's shown through Rika's older sister, who's probably one of the best older sisters in television history, as you just see this conflict between the two. There's another girl named Namoriko, I think. Her name kind of escapes me. She, too, just sort of seems like she's one way, but becomes something else, and it looks like it's going to be really painfully annoying, but it's so great. And from there, the characters all sort of fit your roles. You've got the typical best friend who's, he's actually really funny in this. He gets a lot of great lines. You totally buy him as a character because, once again, presented totally natural. The only two characters where I sort of thought could have been taken out and the story would be no different is this older girl whose name I can barely even remember, who basically, her big thing is she obsesses over napping. She likes to nap. That's her hobby. But I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really funny the way they present it. And I did end up liking her by the time the show was over. The only character who really I didn't like was our other useless character, was this girl, Deko Mori. She's basically Rika's sidekick, and she's got these, you can see like pigtails that she swings at people. She's got problems with Nemoriko. It's all this and that, this and that. I didn't hate her. She had her funny moments, but for the most part, I sort of felt like she was just shoehorned there so Rika could have a sidekick. And then I found out she's actually an anime exclusive character, so yeah, she is just sort of shoehorned so Rika can have a sidekick. But even at the end of the day, she has her good moments. My only really big gripes with this show would have to be the slapstick. There's a little too much slapstick humor here, and it's more being played so that way scenes can look cute. Like, something will happen to Rika or Dekamori or even Yuta where they kind of get hurt, and they'll make, like, the cute little screams and the cute little pain faces. And it sort of just doesn't really work here because everything is played so realistic and straightforward. When you have that happening, it either makes you think these people are really that violent to each other, or we're just, like, shifting tone a lot. The other problem, and I don't even know if this is really that bad, is that I felt the ending was sort of rushed. The last 2 episodes I thought were a little incoherent. I didn't quite understand what was happening. We're not entering Madoka level magic because of bullshit, but I thought that it could have been presented a little more straightforward. I thought it was kind of rushed. Maybe if we didn't waste as much time as we do in this on Deko Mori, we could have made the climax and its finale run a bit more smooth. That's not to say it isn't good. It's a very well done climax, and you totally understand what and why things are happening. I just would have liked it maybe presented a bit more coherently. But nevertheless, I think this series is intelligent. I think it's honest. I think it shows everything. And more importantly, it respects the audience. It expects you to be intelligent. It knows that you can figure stuff out for yourselves and will present things to you in a way where it all depends on how you react to it and how you perceive it. And that alone makes this show something amazing. I'm going to say Chuunibyou, which is all anyone really calls it, is a 9 out of 10! Just, again, I can't stress how intelligent this show is, how much it respects your intelligence, and how, again, only 12 episodes, you don't have to invest too much time. It is so totally worth watching. Again, I could have done without the slapstick, and the ending's a little rushed. In fact, the last 2, 3, 4 minutes of this are kind of left open to the audience's interpretation, which I know kind of irked some people. They would have liked a more conclusive finale, and it does sort of leave it open to a season 2, but as far as I know, there is no season 2. Oh wait, there is? Really? Oh my god! I mean, with how excellent this first season is, this second season must capitalize and move forward with the story and just do everything right like its predecessor did. I better go check this out like right now.